All right, what up, folks? What is going on? This is episode 54 of the VF Cast. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about gaming and everything under that umbrella. And today, we're going to talk about the two stores that are going to be closing within, I guess a year or so. One store has made another move to to move that process along. And I want to give you my thoughts and opinions about people like me that are still buying games on these stores. Is it preservation or nostalgia? I want to give you my thoughts about that, what I feel about it. I want your thoughts as well. So we're going to just get right into it. If you want to support not only this channel but the other channels, the links are all down in the description. You can either just subscribe to the other channel, or you can basically be a Patreon member where you can get extra episodes of the First and Frame Rate show. Also, I am going to be putting some gaming stuff over there as well. So I just want to let you guys know this is a one-man show. I'm not asking, I'm not telling you that it's a must that the show needs to be supported in that way. But if you want to, it is greatly appreciated. Either way, we're going to keep on moving over here, and I'm just going to get right into this. The PlayStation Store and the eShop, the PlayStation Store for the PS3 and the Nintendo Wii eShop is going to be closing. So what does that mean? You're not going to be able to buy you're not going to be buying a lot of games from those stores. They're going to be shut down. And it's just a matter of time. At one point, I thought it wasn't fair. I thought it was like egregious that stuff like this would happen. But after a while, I started thinking about it. It's like, you know what? This is a part of just having things on the internet. I mean, that's just how it's going to be. So at the same time, if you really want these games, there's an ample amount of time to get them. I mean, I think the PlayStation Store and the PS3 has been up for, oh goodness, since 2009, I want to guess. I mean, probably before then, 2008. It's been up for a while. And the Wii Shop, that's been up ever since, the Wii Shop has been up for a long time. That's recently closed back in 2019, I think. And then you have the Wii U Shop is about to close in 2023. You have time to get these games if you want to. Personally, if you want my opinion, I think it's highly recommended that you should get either one of these consoles. The Wii U is pretty much a commercial failure, but it's an excellent console when you understand all the things it can do and the things that you buy that is actually going to be yours. We're not going to get into the whole licensing thing again. I just talked about that on the last video, but with Nintendo don't pretty much do stuff like that. If you buy the games on their platform, it's yours to keep. It served well for me on the Wii, and I recently got tired of just using the Wii for the games. So what I've done was I finally transferred my games from the Wii U, from the Wii over to the Wii U, and I know some people say I shouldn't have done that because I lose all 240p visuals. Like I can't use the 240p mechanism on the Wii U, but this bad boy here is probably gonna get jailbroken. I mean that's just another story for another day. But I'm probably gonna end up jailbreaking the Wii because it's been highly put out there. I mean, it's been highly said that it's easy to do and is actually recommended. But that's another story for another day. I don't want to get into that too much. With that being said, the Wii U, I've been buying games off the Wii U and off the Wii U eShop, and there's a lot of games I didn't even know about that I want to get, and I kind of panicked a little bit. And let me tell you a little story about that. I thought it was going to shut down where you couldn't buy anything anymore, so I bought a Nintendo eShop card, and lo and behold, on the 29th of August, you won't be able to use those anymore. Now, with that being said, I lost the card, so there's a $20 card running around here somewhere. But it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. But I would love to use that before the time runs out. But you can still redeem codes on the internet until March of 2023. So I still got plenty of time. So one thing I want to say about this is it for me, is it preservation or nostalgia with the Wii U? To be quite honest, is straight up nostalgia. I don't have any desire to preserve any of these games, but I want these games to play at my leisure. And it is a bit of nostalgia because some of the games on the Wii U eShop are like really good games. They have like TurboGrafx games on there. They have Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64. One thing I like about the eShop for the Wii, it has Game Boy Advance and DS games on there. It's one of the coolest ways you could play games on a big screen. As far as Advance and DS games, outside of emulation, or I think Hyperkin has something where you can play the Game Boy Advance games, but that's another story for another day. Then there's the Game Boy Consolizer, which is I'm not gonna say they're hard to find, but I mean, I personally, if it was me, I would just go and get one of these to be honest, get a Wii U to be honest. So it's just that, and then it's so robust. There's so many things you can do with it. So for me, is definitely nostalgia. I want to go back and play like any of the Game Boy Advance games I want to play, any of the NES. If I want to play them off that, they're right there. And me transferring my games over from the Wii to the Wii U works out very well. Like I said, with the Wii, I'm gonna do something with that. I'll do another video on the Wii itself at another time, because I think that console is like, yeah, you'll get the gist of it at some point. As far as the PlayStation Store goes, now I can go really far into this. But before I go out, the 2D, the eShop for the 2DS and 3DS, I don't play handheld, so just for you guys to know, that's the reason why I haven't said anything about that. But as far as the PS3 goes, I don't get me wrong, I appreciate what these stores are doing now as far as the PlayStation store for the PS5 and the PS4 and the Xbox store. I think the PlayStation 3 store is the last store we're really going to see something as robust as what they have as well, because they have a whole bunch of PlayStation 1 games. They have a lot of games for PlayStation 2. I think they got some, I don't know if the minis are still on there, but they have a lot of games on there that some PlayStation 1 games are like very expensive right now. Like if you want to get Adventures of Trombone or Mega Man Legends, you can be paying a lot of money, but you can buy those games for like $5 to $10 digital. And for me, before I get into the nostalgia or preservation thing, I'll talk about that in a second. The PS2 library is actually pretty decent too. I mean, they have like 98 or 100 games that you can get on there. And if you have a Japanese account, you can download games off the Japanese site and run them on your PlayStation as well. So I've gotten a lot of PlayStation games that are Japanese form that are excellent games for the PlayStation 2 and PS1. And I highly recommend it. If you haven't done it already, the store is going to be going for a while now, and that's something that you may want to look into. I know there's some people like the PlayStation 3 store is laggy and this, that, and the third. I get it. It is. And some people may not even have their PlayStation 3s. But if you've been following this show for a while, if you've been following this channel now, you already know I play everything. I have all the new stuff. I have the old stuff. I put an emphasis on the old stuff because I feel like, to me, those games are, and don't get me wrong, a lot of new games have really good quality. You have a good bit of them that have really good quality, but some have so many problems. Some of these older games are just better to play, in my opinion. I think they're just better games to play. I mean, the visuals on these new games look great. All this other stuff is phenomenal. It's beautiful. I get it. I'm not knocking it. But at the same time, some of these games are just horrible. You know what I'm saying? Some of these games are just outright terrible, on these new platforms. The patches that are needed, the bugs that come with it, the monetization, it just ruins the experience. So I love the new games. Like I said, I just got finished playing Control on the PS5 earlier today, and I'm going to be playing some more games on my PS5 later, but I just love playing the older stuff. I just do. And I think with the PlayStation Store for the PS3, it's probably your last chance to actually get some really good games for really cheap and play them at a high quality level when you were playing your PlayStation 1 games on a PS3. It's one of the best ways to play PS1 games upscaled. You got all the stuff, the OSSC, and playing with real hardware and going through all that. Sometimes with the PS3 just hooked up to HDMI to a TV is a really good way to play PlayStation 1 games. Same way with PS2. Some of the PS2 classics on there look pretty good too. And the PlayStation 2 is a console that's really, I would expect at some form that the PlayStation 2 is probably going to be sought after, if not already. Um, I know there's a lot of them out there. It's the best selling console of all time, so it probably won't be hard to find one. But some of the games on there is going to be the thing. So for me, with the PlayStation Store, even with PS1, the PlayStation Store for me is more preservation than nostalgia because Nintendo has the stuff that I grew up with back in the early to mid 90s, late 80s. That's the nostalgia side of me. I want to preserve some of these games for the PlayStation because some of these games are going to be out of reach for some people. I feel it. Like, you already seen some games on the PS2 that are starting to go up in price. I think God Hand is a game that's on the PlayStation Store PS2 wise. That's starting to go up. And that's a game I need to pick up. And I probably will pick it up for the PlayStation Store because even though I do love physical copies, don't get me wrong, there are certain games that I just don't care if I get a physical copy or not. I don't think God Hand will be worth the, $70-$80 physical compared to the $9 digital. But there are some games I would love to buy physical, and I'm all for it if I can get my hands on it. That's just not one of them. But with that being said, I think this is going to be a really good situation for people who are just thinking on the fence. Like, am I willing to go ahead and go through the whole situation of getting a PlayStation 3, or if I have one already, hook it up to the internet and endure that laggy experience of buying games on the store? I think at the end of the day, if you really go through it, I think it will be well worth it. Especially when you actually see what games that are on there. There's some really good There are some excellent PlayStation 1 games on there. Excellent PlayStation 1. If you could play them digital through your PS3, you don't have to worry about an upscaler. You don't have to worry about it looking funny on your TV because you're trying to hook a PS1 up to a HD TV. You know, for those type of people who may not have a CRT like I do, which I have a CRT, and I still play my PlayStation 1 games on them. But just to have that convenience sometimes, like my PlayStation 3 is my travel console. Anytime I go out of town, I travel, that console travels with me. So it's really good to have that type of library with you when I'm going. The PlayStation 1 library, which I think I talked about on my last video. I have like almost 40 games of PS1 games. PS2, I have almost like 8 or 9, 10 or 7 games on there. Then you turn on the PS3 digital games. I have like 40 some of the games on there. And not only that, my PS3 that I have, like all the PS3s, they play PlayStation 1 games just fine. So to me, it is more about preserving those, especially with those games that are basically, they're all disc based. Disc games go away, they rot, they get scratched up, they don't like to work. PS2 games do the same thing. I have a couple of PS2 games that just don't want to work. And also, PS3 games, even though they're Blu-ray, they're really good. I think Blu-ray games, the PS3 games are going to be around for a while. I don't know if the price is going to jump on those, but I highly recommend you guys. I said this on my channel before. Go after PS3 games now. Go after them now. That and the 360, to me, those are the consoles that you might want to go start collecting for, because sometime down the road, they're going to go up in price. Wii U is starting to creep up a little bit as well. And I think that's another one, that you might want to start picking up on. Wii, I don't know. There are some expensive Wii games because Wii is technically in the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation. Wii, maybe. But I know Wii U because people just love Nintendo. And I started collecting for the Wii U as well. If you can see right behind me, right where my finger is, right there. That's one of my Wii U games. I got a handful of them now. Got about, I'll say about 20. There's like, I think it's like maybe 300. I don't know how many. I think it's anywhere. I want to say 300 games that came out for the Wii. I could be wrong about that. Could be less than that. But it's not hard to get a complete Wii U collection outside of buying the Hello Kitty game, which is expensive. But that may be something I may look into at some point, because I'm not that far off when it says, with the physical releases of a bunch of games. It's not that far off, or it's pretty easy to collect for. So I may do that because the Wii U is actually, I like it. I like it a lot. And for me, the PlayStation Store is basically for preservation. I want to preserve those games. And a little bit the Wii U for the physical copy of games. Those are preservation as well, because like I said, disc games just don't last as long as we would like to see. Now I know there's a thing about the Saturn and the Sega CD games. Those are the ones that are the worst, but you just never know. CDs are CDs. You never know what may happen to them. Sometimes they scratch and ruin the whole game. I just had a game recently. I think it was Cars 3 for the Wii U. One little scratch and the game doesn't work anymore. So I may end up getting Cars 3 on another platform because of that. But nevertheless, like I said, nostalgia for the PlayStation Store. Preservation for the PlayStation Store. Nintendo eShop is basically, for the most part, the eShop definitely is for nostalgia purposes. The disc for the Wii U, the Wii or whatever the case may be, definitely is going to be for preservation. And if you're into the 2D or the 3DS or you're into the eShop or whatever, I'm pretty sure that's preservation and nostalgia, because a lot of these games, even for the Wii U and some for the PlayStation, some of the games you may not be able to find anymore. I mean, they're delisted, they're gone. There's some games like I know some games have already been delisted, like the Simpsons game, the X-Men game, the Turtles game. There's a lot of games that already been delisted. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that game's ever coming back after they do the 1-Up Arcade. Once the 1-Up Arcade is up, and once that comes through next month or something like that, that's a wrap for the for Marvel vs. Capcom in general. So I have it on Xbox. I have it on the PS3. I'm probably going to be picking it up for the Dreamcast as well. It's going to be pretty difficult to get that. It's pretty expensive, so I may go get the Japanese version. But as far as physical copies, that game right there is definitely preservation, because especially the PS2 version. There's not that many copies of the PS2 version now. That's why it's so expensive. The Xbox version is starting to go up in price as well. And the fact that the game is delisted, I have it on my PS3 and I have no desire to delete it anytime soon. So so it's something crazy to think about at the end of the day. And it's if you're into this stuff, I highly recommend you to jump in it now if you haven't already. It's pretty much you have up until March of next year for the Wii U stuff. But I don't know when the PlayStation Store is going to go down. They can make a press release about it and say they're going to shut it down in a few days. But that's why I'm always on it trying to buy certain things. And there's some games that I'm actually kind of interested in that I don't know nothing about. I'll try them anyway. I mean, why not? Most of these games like $5 to $10. They're pretty cheap if you really ask me. So it's a pretty good deal. And if you want to check it out, there's a lot of other channels that are talking about what games to get before it closes, or, just go in there and see what you like. 'Cause if you're a gamer, you know what you like. All right, y'all. I am getting up out of here. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is the VF Cast. I am over here doing things as far as gaming and everything under the umbrella. You can find me also every day, Monday through Friday, on the VF Cast. The First and Frame Rate show, Monday through Friday, talking about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football. And I'll be putting videos up here at least 2 or 3 times a week. I've been doing a pretty good job of it now. And hopefully I could get back in the swing of things of streaming. I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm telling you now, I know if I start streaming, it's going to have something I'm be dedicated to. So I may do that to just put gameplay up, because I'm a very busy person. I want to apologize for that, because I want to stream, and I may do once a week or something. Don't hold me to that, but I will definitely let you guys know. All right, y'all, I am going to get up out of here. You guys take it easy. Have a wonderful, wonderful beginning of your week. And y'all guys be blessed. All right, y'all. Peace.